Hey there, welcome back. Kind of struggling for content right now. Nothing super exciting, especially after the highlight of running the engine and getting the avionics fired up. We did do a second engine run last weekend, a few days ago. Everything went well. We ended up swapping the ignition cables, and long story short, we ended up putting them back exactly the way we had them for the first engine run, because it didn't run the other way. So confusion on the phasing, but what we got now is good. Then I'm basically just going through torquing, torque sealing, and just getting everything ready to bring it up to the hangar. We got a truck that we reserved for this Saturday, 26-foot truck, a couple $100. Hangar's about 25 miles away, and we're hoping to do it all in one run. As I say, 26-foot truck, 8 feet wide. This thing's 7 by 22-ish, so I think we'll be good. I'm gonna bring this, the wings, the table, all the big stuff, and then the little stuff I can bring later. And yeah, I'm kind of going through checking these. I know I don't have the cables on yet, but basically tightening all that stuff. George is almost done with the connector for that. You can see it on the table there. So then we'll be able to give that a test. Probably not going to put the interior in because we obviously need it out to put the wings on. You can just transport it up separately. So yeah, sorry. Yeah, went through, put Loctite or torque seal on these. We did have to swap one of these shunt wires because we were getting a negative reading, so we fixed that, and that's not working properly. And going through here, securing and putting everything together. So I will keep you posted if anything exciting happens. See ya. Oh yeah, I did realize the ELT is missing. So we had a suspicion of a bad battery. So we actually sent it back, hoping to get that. And I guess one more thing worth noting is these things here. So I confirmed with Tony Wall, who has been more than helpful, an absolute amazing video series that he has on his S-21 build. It's called S-21 Project. And he just confirmed that this is good for how you hook these up. I think I mentioned that I tighten them and then loosen them just a little bit so they have some movement in them. Then I put a little bit of torque seal on them. So these nuts are kind of a pain to get to because they're so close to the tube, so you can't use a socket. You gotta use 2 wrenches and go piece by piece by piece by piece. But yeah, I did the same thing on this side, so tight but not too tight. Another thing I wanted to check for is get this. We had it pretty close to that, but George ended up getting some more 100 low lead, so I'm gonna pump that in to try and get it above the fill line, just to be super sure that nothing leaks. Like these were right about here, and I want to bring it up higher, so I'm gonna do that. Alright, well that was pretty dumb. Once it filled up to here, obviously it vented out the other hole and started pissing out the top, so I had to stop it. I raised the tail up and put some more in. Don't do what I do. Think. Well, the good news is it's one way to find out if your interior is avgas resistant, and it seems to be. And got the smell out, got it all cleaned up, and even better is, I know they're not completely submerged, but they are submerged through the penetration point. So I feel fairly confident that everything is airtight, watertight, fuel tight. So today's project is George is finishing up underneath here, and before I put the cowl on, I took it off, and what I want to do is I made the, these are the vents for the defrost, GPS antenna, the posts that come through. So I made a template of sorts that is just, foam, closed cell foam. And I know it doesn't go quite that far because the windshield's obviously gonna be part of it. But I use the foam to try and hide the little rivets that penetrate through it, and probably cover this in some black Alcantara just so you don't have any reflections. And I'm kind of doing this while I have it easily accessible. And on top of that, I want to make a lip that goes over this. So if you have the Aerosports panel, obviously this protrudes another inch, and that leaves you 1 inch versus the 2-inch overhang from the factory panel. So I'm going to just extend this maybe about 1/2 inch. And I don't know if you can comprehend this, but this is basically the panel. Then there's going to be some foam. Then I'm going to make these plastic things that kind of sandwiches from the front. Like the foam will sit here, the Alcantara will wrap around here, and then that trim lip will sandwich onto the front of it. And as needed, I'll put a couple of screws that actually just hold it in. And that will also hold the LED light kind of like recessed into it, the little red LED strip light that goes across here. So I brought home some ABS, different thicknesses, and gonna get to work. Alright, so I get the cover sorted. Now I'm going to basically just make a couple of templates that contours this lip coming out. This is right now 1/16, which I think I'll be able to use as the bottom piece. Then there'll be an 1/8 inch spacer here, and maybe another piece of 1/8 inch that goes on top. So chipping away at it. Okie doke, so this is the first lower level of the lip. It's going to go right up to the carbon fiber panel. Then I made the little spacer, this doohickey here. That's going to basically go on top of that. And then there'll be another piece similar to this, not as far back. It'll be probably about maybe 1.5 inches in. And then that whole thing will sandwich around the foam and the Alcantara that's wrapped around it. And then if need be, I'll put a couple of screws. Alright, got my lower, middle, and upper piece cut. This here was a template. I made this out of 16, so it's really flexible. I'm gonna kind of just massage a little bend into them to help contour, you know, just so it sits a little bit better. And then we'll put them in and we'll see how it looks. Alright, the reason I did it in layers like this on the plane rather than on the workbench is to try and help get the actual curvature of the panel. Put a little piece of foam in there to simulate the dash padding, and you can come in. All right, be right there. Dinner's ready. I'll make this quick. And hopefully, it's a bit tight. Maybe the glue stuck to it. Yeah, very tight. All right, but it keeps that shape. Hopefully I can get my foam out. Yeah, there's the foam. So this is the crevice in the back. And oh, look at that. So I might just have to work on the foam a little bit on the Alcantara, but that's basically gonna snap on like this. I can still grind it, round this over. I'm gonna make a little recess on the bottom for the light. So a couple of finishing touches, but all in all, obviously gonna put some more glue. So happy how that came out. All right, gonna go eat dinner. So what I must have made, and so this is basically the contour that mates up with the Aero Sports panel, and on the top is just 1.5 inch trim lip that comes around it. I think I'm going to add a little bit of half round on here just to, this looks a little chopped when it's in the plane, and I suppose you can see it through the window, so if I do a half inch half round at the end, it'll look a little nicer. But now the idea is that you can buy these tracks on Amazon to put the LED strips in. I use them throughout the plane, and you can't bend them this way obviously, but you can bend them to an extent this way. So I massage this one into place to basically sit inside here. What I want to do is basically space this up. I don't know if I'll use 1/4 inch or 3/16 or even 1/8 inch, or maybe even 1/4 inch, but I'll just put a little filler straight and then the contours around there. I'm gonna shorten this probably by 1 inch on either side. Right now it's 34 inches end to end. I think 32 is sufficient. And then I'll put a little piece on the back as well. And the purpose of the back piece is gonna be that, it's pretty tight, I don't think you need much, but I may put 2 or 4 or 6 30-seconds countersunk 1/2 inch screws that go through this, they're countersunk into this, through the lip, the aluminum lip of the dash panel to keep it from pulling off, and then just thread into the plastic on the bottom of that. That's the plan. All right, glue a little piece on and engaging some precision eyeball engineering, and that'll give it a look that looks more finished once in the plane. And the boot cowl also like kind of dives down here, so I don't want to square it off because this will sit a little bit high. I think this will be So I added those little things on. I don't think you'll be able to see any of this because of the windshield piece that's on there. I just wanted it to look a little cleaner when you look from inside here. So I think that looks good. It's all flush up underneath here, up against the, oh, I lied. It's supposed to be, yeah, there we go. Once it's pushed in, it is. Against the carbon fiber panel. I'm gonna drill 5 holes. Like I said, they're gonna go through this top piece, the metal, and then screw into the bottom piece so it sandwiches it on, so there's no way it can come off. But yet it's easy to take off if you have to. As you can see, the grooves inside there. So, yeah, need 2 hands to put it on. I think that's good progress for today. I am going to work on putting that light on the bottom of this, but we'll leave that for tomorrow. For now, good night. Not sure how good this is going to come out in the dark, but I was trying to do some testing. So what I'm trying to avoid is seeing the little individual dots. So I'm going to put a little spacer in front of it. And I was also trying to see how far or how short I can make the brow and still have it illuminate everything. So that was the 32 inches that I had there. But I think I want it to go a little bit further, so I might make it 3 pieces. Sorry, just babbling. Like I said, good night. Alright, I put the little lip on the bottom here. Basically just have a square front right now. And I just started to. I think I'm going to round it over with that. Alright, this will be the quick and dirty ending to this video, and I'll explain why in a minute. But this is the brow, so this is going to be painted. That will be painted. This will be, like I said, black Alcantara. This slips over. These are the holes that I drilled through the plastic, and basically they're going to drill through there. So there's going to be 5 of those. And this came out absolutely awesome. Like, I'm going to sand this some more and paint it and go through it. But let me show you what I ended up doing with the lights. Well, I haven't done, but I have a plan. And this is deceiving because this is bent to the shape out of one piece. But you can see that it quickly moves that way. So I actually had to make it out of 3 pieces. So I am going to put this piece in the middle. This is like, was it 18, 20 inches? And then there's going to be 2 pieces on the side. I have these at very, very slight angles, but they're going to sit in here. The LED strip tube, I already tried it. You can fish it through. And then these ever so slight bends end up exactly on one of these joints. So it has a little bit of just enough flexibility to be able to get through. And then the lip on the front allows you, I don't know if you can see or not, well, that one's falling out, allows you so you don't see any of the dots or the LED, it'll be behind it. And the other thing I needed to make sure of is that the screws, you know, can come through there. Ultimately, the wire is going to be tucked inside here, and it's going to come out of the right side end. And I didn't want to drill into this beautiful Aerosport panel, but I am going to open up right here where it goes under the cowl between these 2 tangs, just big enough to fit the wire through in the connector. So that is Derek's silly bra. I will end the video here. I'm going to tell you why I haven't painted it yet, but tomorrow the plan is to move this up to the hangar. We have that 26-foot box truck coming. Maybe I'll get this posted before that goes up, but George is going to be here. He's going to get the truck. My friend Chris and his crew, and another pilot, James. So looking forward to that, but that'll be tomorrow's video. We're going to bring this, the wings, this table, which weighs a ton, table saw, these racks, pretty much everything that you need manpower with up there, and then the little stuff I can bring up later. So to be continued. Maybe we'll get the wings on tomorrow if things go well, but again, that's for another video. For now, good night, happy building. I didn't do anything too incriminating, but this is not building instructions, this is just me doing it and working with plastic, wasting time on silly things. Anyway, see ya.